Hello everyone, welcome back to Cyber Hashira. It's been a while since I last posted a video on this channel, and I really appreciate all the support during this break. Today's video is about post-quantum cryptography. I'll break down what PQC is and why it's so important for the future of data security. Let's get started. A simple way to define post-quantum cryptography, or PQC in short, is as the study of cryptographic algorithms that are secure against attacks from quantum computers. What's a quantum computer, you might ask, and how is it a risk? Let's understand what quantum computers are. If you haven't heard of a quantum computer yet, then these are a few things you need to know. Quantum computers utilizes quantum physics to solve complex problems. Unlike modern computers that uses a binary system to solve complex problems, quantum computers uses quantum bits or qubits for processing. Quantum computers are still in development. They are not yet ready. They are still at least a decade away from being commercially available for use. And when they are ready, quantum computers will be extremely fast. For instance, if a supercomputer takes a month to solve a complex problem, a quantum computer might be able to solve it within seconds. While this is exciting, it also poses a big risk to our current cryptography. Let me explain how. This is Peter Shor, an American mathematician at MIT, known for developing Shor's algorithm. The discussion about post-quantum cryptography began with his work. Shor's algorithm is a quantum algorithm developed in 1994 that could break asymmetric algorithms such as RSA. The main goal of Shor's algorithm is to find prime factors of a large integer. It can significantly reduce the time required to solve the factorization problem used in RSA crypto system. As most of you already know, the security of RSA algorithm is based on the difficulty of factoring the product of two large prime numbers. It can also reduce the time required to solve the discrete log problem used in algorithms such as DSA and Diffie-Hellman. So just to summarize, Shor's algorithm can significantly reduce the time required to break popular asymmetric algorithms such as RSA, DSA, ECC, and Diffie-Hellman. However, with our current computing capabilities, it would still take Shor's algorithm several hundred or even thousands of years to break them. But for a quantum computer though, this task could be accomplished in just few minutes or maybe few hours. Another algorithm that can be leveraged by a quantum computer to break encryption is Grover's algorithm. It was developed by an Indian-American mathematician named Love Kumar Grover. Developed in 1996, Grover's algorithm is a quantum search algorithm. Grover's algorithm is capable of efficiently solving unstructured search problems. Now, unstructured data refers to dataset that lacks any order or pattern. To locate a specific item within such a dataset, one must examine each item until the desired item is found. It's like finding a specific book in a library where all books are piled up randomly without any order. Grover's algorithm is effective because it reduces the number of items to search, making the process faster. If there are fewer items to search, then it means searching for one specific item will be faster. And due to this incredible searching capability of Grover's algorithm, it could be used to find the secret key used in encryption, such as those for AES or DES3. And it's not just limited to symmetric encryption keys. Grover's algorithm can also be used to identify the input that produced a specific hash output. So returning to the slide I started with, what is PQC? PQC stands for Post-Quantum Cryptography. It involves researching and developing cryptographic algorithms that are secure against attacks from quantum computers. You can also call them quantum-resistant algorithms. Now, you might be wondering, if we are at least a decade away from having a commercially viable quantum computer, then why are we worried about it now? I personally view the challenges posed by quantum computing risk and climate change as similar. Both are real problems that will occur in future, and there's no denying it. I see the comparison between climate change and quantum computing risk as valid for three reasons. First, in both cases, there is an expert agreement. For many years, scientists have been vocal about the risk of climate change, and similarly, cryptographers and researchers have raised concerns about the potential threats posed by quantum computing to our modern cryptographic system. Second, there is a future impact for both cases, and we need to prepare for it. We have maybe a decade and a half to prepare for both risks. Just as we need to act swiftly to mitigate the effects of climate change, we also need to develop quantum-resistant cryptographic algorithms before quantum computers can break our current cryptographic standards. And to prepare for that future impact, we need to act now. Just as we are taking steps to mitigate the effects of climate change, it is crucial to begin transitioning our existing cryptographic systems to a more robust quantum-resistant infrastructure. So, based on what we have discussed, let's examine how secure our current cryptography will be when quantum computing becomes available in the next 1 or 2 decades. I have selected 5 widely used cryptographic use cases to explore their potential vulnerabilities and impact. PKI, or public key infrastructure, is widely used to manage digital certificates with certificate authorities, private or public, relying on RSA or ECC keys. Today, we assume that our current computing power can't break these algorithms. However, within the next 10 or 15 years, a quantum computer could become powerful enough to break RSA or ECC using Shor's algorithm. Imagine the consequence if such a computer compromises the keys of a public root CA, potentially undermining the entire trust framework of PKI. Let's discuss SSL/TLS, the protocol used to secure communication between a client and a server. Many of you are familiar with HTTPS, which web server uses to secure communications. Typically, these servers use keys based on RSA or ECC. In 10-15 years, a quantum computer could significantly threaten any web server using these types of keys. If the private key of that web server is compromised, then it could be used to decrypt all communications between a client and a server. Algorithms such as Diffie-Hellman and ECDH are used in key agreement protocol, where two parties agree on a shared secret to secure their communication. Popular messaging apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal uses ECDH to establish that end-to-end encryption between parties exchanging messages. Currently, ECDH offers sufficient security for end-to-end communication. However, within the next 10-15 years, a quantum computer could potentially break the private keys used in these protocols, compromising the confidentiality of end-to-end communications. I'm sure most of you are familiar with cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. They rely on cryptographic algorithms that could be vulnerable to attacks from quantum computers in the future. For instance, Bitcoin uses ECDSA, which could be compromised by a quantum computer using Shor's algorithm. PGP and its open source counterpart GPG are widely used for file and email encryption. They use algorithms like RSA, LGML, IDEA, and AES for encrypting and signing a message. However, RSA and LGML are potentially vulnerable to attacks from quantum computers using Shor's algorithm. So in the future, once quantum computers become powerful enough, these cryptographic methods could be easily broken. There's also something called harvest now, decrypt later. A bad actor could collect and store your encrypted data today with the intention of decrypting it in the future when quantum computers become powerful enough. This makes long-term sensitive data vulnerable, even if it's secure now. Now let's talk about few steps to address the challenges quantum computer pose to our current cryptography. Here are 5 actions you can take now to help mitigate those future threats. Well, the most effective mitigation step is to adopt quantum-resistant algorithm. Begin by identifying key areas in your critical infrastructure that may require the use of quantum-resistant algorithms. Start experimenting with different types of quantum-resistant algorithms to determine which one best suits your need. In many cases, it may not be feasible to switch everything to a quantum-resistant algorithm immediately. In such situation, you can use hybrid cryptography, which combines a quantum-resistant algorithm with a current one. For example, if your PKI has both root and subordinate CA, you could migrate them to use quantum-resistant algorithm while continuing to issue certificates based on RSA or ECDSA. If you are using an application that requires key exchange between two parties to secure communication, consider adopting a quantum-resistant algorithm for key exchange. You can also spread awareness about PQC among your peers. If you come across an interesting article, blog, or maybe a social media post or a video about PQC, share them with your peers. By sharing your knowledge, you can help increase awareness so that everyone is well prepared for the risk posed by quantum computing. And finally, make sure to stay up to date with all the latest happening in PQC. Keep an eye on new developments, algorithms, and standards, and stay informed about what Nist is doing for PQC. When it comes to cryptographic standards, the first name that comes to mind is Nist. Last year, I made a video about various FIPS standards and their security levels. Please watch that video if you want to learn more about FIPS. For those who have not heard of Nist, they are a US government agency. They are responsible for developing security standards, including those related to cryptography, and they are actively working on post-quantum cryptography. Here's a summary of what Nist has been doing to develop PQC with all the information sourced from the link that you see on your screen. I will leave this link in the description of this video. Now let's discuss each of these events in chronological order. I'll start with the year 2016. This is when Nist began its work on PQC. In February 2016, Nist first outlined its plan to develop post-quantum cryptography at an event called PQ Crypto 2016. This event was held in Japan. In a presentation given by Dustin Moody, Nist presented its roadmap for PQC development. On April 28 of the same year, Nist released an internal report that outlined the potential impact of quantum computers on cryptography. It described many of the threats and challenges that I discussed at the beginning of this video. And then later in December same year, Nist made an announcement requesting nominations for quantum-resistant algorithms. They called on experts and researchers to submit their proposal for PQC algorithms. In 2017, nothing much happened during the first 3 quarters. November 30, 2017 was the deadline for submitting all nominations for PQC algorithms. On December 4, 2017, Dustin Moody gave another presentation on post-quantum cryptography, providing updates on the progress made since the call for nominations. And then on December 21, 2017, Nist announced the algorithms accepted for round 1. Out of 82 total submission, a total of 69 algorithms were accepted as complete and proper. In 2018, Dustin Moody presented at the PQ Crypto event. During this presentation, Nist provided updates on the recent developments in quantum computing and its ongoing work on PQC. A 3-day PQC conference was also held, where candidates accepted in the first round were invited to talk about their algorithms and describe how it worked. On January 30, 2019, Nist announced the candidates accepted for the second round. Of the 69 algorithms accepted in the first round, only 26 were selected for the second round. Candidates who were accepted for the second round were allowed to further optimize their algorithms based on the feedbacks they received. March 15, 2019 was the deadline to submit those updated algorithms. Nist provided further updates during a presentation at PQ Crypto 2019 event in China, once again led by Dustin Moody. The second PQC standardization conference was held on August 22nd. Like the first PQC conference, the candidates accepted for the second round were allowed to discuss their algorithms. Nothing much happened during the first half of 2020. On July 22nd, Nist announced the algorithms accepted for the third round. Out of 26 algorithms from the second round, only 15 progressed to the third round. 7 of these algorithms were named finalist, while the remaining were classified as alternatives. The finalist algorithms were considered for standardization at the end of the third round, and the alternate algorithms would be standardized at a later stage. The selected candidates were given time to further optimize their algorithms, with the deadline for submitting updates set for October 1st, 2020. In 2021, the third PQC standardization conference was held virtually. All 15 candidates were invited to present any updates or improvement they had made to their algorithms. On July 5, 2022, Nist announced the 4 algorithms selected for standardization, 3 for digital signatures, and 1 for public key encryption. Nist also revealed the candidates that advanced to the 4th round. Nist also gave all candidates time to further optimize their algorithms if they wished. The deadline for submitting the updated algorithms was set for October 1st, 2022. The 4th PQC standardization conference was held from November 29 to December 1. As always, all candidates were given the opportunity to discuss their algorithms and any updates they had made to it. Last year in August, Nist published 3 draft standards for public review: Draft FIPS 203, Draft FIPS 204, and Draft FIPS 205. These drafts were open for feedback to ensure thorough evaluation. The 5th PQC standardization conference was held this year from April 10 to April 12. And then last month on August 13, Nist finalized the 3 draft standards it announced last year. They are now FIPS 203, FIPS 204, and FIPS 205. FIPS 203 is the standard for module lattice-based key encapsulation mechanism. This mechanism is quantum resistant and designed for securely exchanging keys between 2 parties over an insecure channel. It is intended to be a secure alternative to algorithms like Diffie-Hellman and ECDH. FIPS 204 is a Nist standard for module lattice-based digital signature standard. This quantum-resistant algorithm is designed for generating digital signatures and is intended to be a secure alternative to algorithms like RSA, DSA, and ECDSA. FIPS 205 is a Nist standard for stateless hash-based digital signature standard. This algorithm can also be used as an alternative for generating digital signatures that are secure against quantum computing attacks. That's all for this video. I wanted to cover a few more things related to PQC and some other algorithms, but I will save those for the second part. In that video, I'll go over a few more algorithms and discuss them in detail, so stay tuned. If you found this video helpful, then please don't forget to like this video before you leave. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more content on cryptography topics and tools. Thank you so much for watching and take care.